Have you ever wondered why, despite your efforts, you feel like people, especially women, don't give you the respect you deserve? Perhaps you've noticed that certain behaviors of yours provoke unexpected reactions, and deep down, you feel something is wrong, but you can't quite put your finger on it. In this video, we'll explore from a Stoic perspective the habits that, without realizing it, may be undermining the respect people have for you. This journey will not only help you see your mistakes clearly, but will also offer you tools to change and strengthen your presence and character. 1. Trust and its absence. Trust is one of the most important foundations of any relationship, whether personal or professional. A man who doesn't project self-confidence inevitably conveys insecurity and emotional dependence. The natural attraction that people feel, especially women, is based on stability, not constant doubt. Imagine a man who always seeks validation in every decision. Sooner or later, that dependence wears down any bond and breeds disdain. Stoicism teaches that confidence is built on self-awareness and the acceptance of what is beyond our control. A clear example is Marcus Aurelius's practice of reminding himself that his inner power is the only thing that truly belongs to him. If you live dependent on the opinions of others or are constantly indecisive, it will only be a matter of time before others, including the women in your life, lose respect for you. 2. Poor hygiene. It may sound trivial, but poor personal hygiene is a direct reflection of how you value yourself. When you neglect and don't pay attention to your cleanliness and appearance, you convey disinterest and laziness. Stoic philosophy reminds us that personal care is an extension of self-discipline and self-love. Epictetus said we should be aware of our condition and act with virtues that project respect. Think of someone who attends a meeting in dirty clothes or looks unkempt. What message does this convey? Poor hygiene may seem like a minor detail, but its impact on others' perceptions is immense. Taking care of yourself isn't vanity, it's a silent declaration that you value yourself and expect the same from others. 3. Respect for yourself and others. Respect is a concept that begins with yourself. If a person doesn't respect themselves, others will treat them with disdain. Self-respect is reflected in the way you set your boundaries and enforce them. The Stoics believed in the importance of maintaining unwavering dignity. When you allow others to overstep your boundaries without consequences, you are sending a message of weakness and conformity. The key is not to aggressively command your respect, but to set clear boundaries calmly and decisively. Imagine that you always give in to others' demands out of fear of conflict. Such behavior eventually erodes their perception of you. Learn to stand up for your principles and treat yourself with the same dignity you demand from others. 4. The need for independence. One of the most common mistakes that erodes respect is emotional dependence. A person who has no life of his own and who is completely dependent on another person for his happiness loses value in the eyes of others. Independence is vital to maintaining respect and admiration. From a Stoic perspective, independence is cultivated by developing one's own interests and passions. A practical example could be the story of Cicero, who, despite his time and adversity, always found his own voice and space. If you base your well-being exclusively on another person, you become a shadow of yourself and expose yourself to a constant loss of respect. 5. Lies. Dishonesty is one of the quickest ways to lose the respect of anyone, including a woman. Lies create a chasm that erodes trust and, once broken, is extremely difficult to recover. The Stoics value honesty as a fundamental virtue. Being truthful is not only a matter of ethics, but also of personal integrity. If you get used to lying to avoid conflict or to pretend to be something you're not, you're creating a false image that will inevitably crumble. Think of the analogy of a house built on sand. It may appear solid on the outside, but at the slightest impact, it collapses. Transparency and consistency between what you say and what you do build the trust and respect you desire. 6. Anger and aggression. Many men make the mistake of thinking that aggression is a symbol of power and respect, when in reality, it's quite the opposite. Uncontrolled anger is a sign of weakness and a mind that lacks self-control. The Stoics teach that true strength lies in calm and the ability to respond in a controlled manner. Imagine someone who explodes at the slightest provocation. That person not only loses respect, but becomes feared rather than admired. Maintaining composure, even in times of tension, is a sign of real power and self-control. Women and people in general respect those who can manage their emotions and act rationally. 7. Complaining. Constant complaining is evidence of a victim mentality and a lack of control over one's life. A man who complains about everything without seeking solutions conveys a sense of helplessness and weakness. Stoic philosophy suggests accepting what we can't change and acting on what is within our power. Epictetus asserted that it is better to act than to complain, because action leads to results, while complaining only wears us down. Imagine living with someone who always finds something negative in every situation, but never takes action to change it. This attitude wears down others' patience and diminishes the respect they may have for you. Complaints without action are just noise. 8. Laziness and lack of ambition. A man without ambition or purpose is perceived as worthless. Women and people in general respect those who have clear goals and work to achieve them. Laziness goes against Stoic principles, which emphasize the importance of discipline and constant effort. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not act as if you had 10,000 years of life ahead of you. Death is at your heels. Do good while you live and while you can." This reminder emphasizes the urgency of acting with meaning and purpose. Living with determination inspires respect and motivates others to value your presence. 9. Jealousy and possessiveness. Jealousy and possessiveness are clear signs of insecurity. A man who constantly doubts his partner and controls her quickly loses respect. Stoicism teaches us to trust ourselves and not try to control what is not within our control, including another person's will. Confidence in our own worth and our ability to handle any situation is essential. If you recognize some of these habits in your life, don't worry. It's a good first step toward changing them. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus says, it is not things in themselves that trouble us, but our opinions about them. You have the power to adjust your habits and attitudes to build a more respected and balanced life. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content that helps you grow as a person and strengthen your relationships. Reflect for a moment on the habits mentioned and how they may be influencing your daily life. Adopting the Stoic perspective allows you not only to recognize these mistakes, but to actively work to correct them. The key to earning respect begins with self-respect, and every action you take is a reflection of how much you value your own existence. The next time you feel like something isn't right, observe your behaviors in light of these principles. Real transformation doesn't happen overnight, but with each small step you take toward personal improvement, you will be moving toward the life of respect and balance you deserve. Remember, change begins with you, and as you do so, your environment will respond accordingly. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, give it a like, and share your experience in the comments. Which habit do you think is the hardest to change? I'd love to hear your thoughts.